Ugly when you need it, Don?
Yeah, look, it was always going to be one of those sorts of games. I mean, Carlton have sort of played that sort of style most of the year, and to their credit, they're a really strong defensive side, and so we knew they were going to try and play that style because that's the way they've done it, and they've won some games doing that. So, just proud of our guys to hang in there. Got challenged in the last quarter. Carlton got back in front, and then they were able to find a way in the end to get a win, which is sometimes what you do in this game. It's not always about high scoring and free flowing footy. It's a good test case for what we think we're going to experience in coming weeks, and so we learn and reflect and move on.
Yes, Tex led the way in that third quarter late. Some of his acts there. Yeah,
well, that's what you want from your leaders and your key guys, is to stand up when the game's on the line, to influence the game. And across the board, there was a number of moments where I just thought our guys found a way in some contests which were pivotal and critical. And from there, we were able to obviously get some field position and score.
Such a terrific start. What do you think happened after that? His first 15 minutes.
Yeah, we jumped out really well. Obviously, we had 4 on the board. Towards the end of the first quarter, Carlton sort of pulled a number back and started chipping the ball around. Took us a while to adjust to that and adapt. They were able to sort of almost defend with the ball. They were kicking the ball around their back half, and we were a bit slow to just get into to find a player, and that was allowing to move it. We weren't taking a great deal of field position. They were just actually killing a lot of our momentum. So, and to their credit, they were able to build on that in the second quarter. And I thought our second quarter wasn't very good at all. But that was the ebb and the flow of the game. That's sort of how the games that Carlton have been involved in have sort of flowed. And as I said, they've beaten some sides recently in GWS and Gold Coast by playing that style, and they're disciplined. They stuck to it, but we were able to get it done in the end, which was great.
You can potentially learn more from that game than perhaps some of your bigger victories this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the beauty of those games, is that's sort of a final style game whereby it is contest to contest, and it is scoring is hard, and we'll certainly be able to learn from that game in terms of the style and some of the things we did well. I thought we made some improvements in some of the areas from even last week's game, and we'll keep working on that.
Who were you happiest with late in the piece? Who do you think made the difference in the last 20 minutes?
Oh, God, it'd be hard to sort of individualise, but I thought some of our guys, with our midfield guys in the crouches, I thought stood up and got their hand on the ball. Richard Douglas, I thought, was pretty solid all day. It was more just the evenness of our contribution that really kept me happy. I thought, when the game was on the line and guys had their opportunity to either, influence a contest, win a critical ball, lay a tackle, they were able to rise to that. Were we perfect? No, we weren't. We've still got some work to do, quite clearly. But we were able to find a way, which is sometimes what you do in this game.
Were you happy with Sloaney's game?
Yeah, look, he went to a few different spots today, and he influenced the game in his own way. But it's not always about Sloaney.
Yeah. That finding a way, I guess, is that really what you take away from it, where perhaps you haven't in the face of those sort of tactics in the past? Yeah,
I think that's the beauty. Is it we've spoken about it as a group and said there's going to be times whereby the game's going to require us to play a different way. If the game opens up, I think we've shown we can play some really powerful, strong footy. But the game opened up for little periods, and we're able to score through those periods. And other times it was just an arm wrestle, and that's the nature of the game. And as we get closer towards final series, playing against the opposition, which is in such an even comp, we can expect more of those days. So it's good to be able to come on the right side of the ledger today.
Josh Jenkins obviously went back to the sandful earlier in the year. Good contributor today, a few weeks separated from that time, but how's he going with his foot? Is he back to that form?
Yeah, he's building. He's building. I think there was some really good signs from Josh today. Obviously, he hit the scoreboard for us. I think he tackled really well. I think he had 10 or 12 tackles. So, those are the things we're wanting him to add to his game on a consistent basis. And, it's like a lot of our players. We've got some guys who are in this phase where they're learning the next thing that's going to take them from being a good player to being a great player, and some of our younger guys are in that same area, whether it be Riley Knight or Wayne Miller, Rory Atkins. These guys, they're building careers, and it doesn't happen overnight. You don't sort of all of a sudden arrive at 100 games. You've got to earn 100 games, and you've got to learn on the way. And those guys are. As I said, are we a completed work? And, no, we're not. We're still work in progress.
Obviously, you don't know the severity of the Hardigan injury yet, but in the event he's going to miss some weeks, who do you think will spot in the back line?
Well, I haven't really thought about it off the top of the head, but unfortunate for Cole today, because he's been really solid. Certainly in the last year and a half, has played some really good footy down there. So we've got some options there. I haven't heard from how our Sandford guys went today, but there'll be some options. We'll certainly have to replace Cole.
As you had a few down games over the past month or so. What have you made of the commentary that opposition teams had perhaps worked you out?
It's one of those things that, we started the season so well. When we were 6-0, we were playing some really strong footy and we were scoring heavily. It was to be expected. I mean, people don't let you have it all your own way the whole time. And our consistency through the last month has been up and down. And we've been challenged in certain games, and certain sides have played a different way against us. So we've had to learn, and that's us as coaches as well as players, and we have to educate. But we also have to accept that some of those things we can do at times, some of those things we can't. So, as I said, are we through that? I don't know, because we got Friday night, we got the Bulldogs, and we got another big challenge. So, we don't sit here. We sit here today going, great, well done. Found a way today, got a win. What do we learn? And we've got 6 days until we crack into another really high quality opposition in the Bulldogs. Mitch McGovern, yeah, all fine, I believe. Yeah, they were all good. The guys we brought in, so Mitch and Riley Knight, who came in back in, were fine. Thanks, guys. Good on you.